Everything around you is already shifting quietly but completely. A rare moon alignment tomorrow sets off a chain of events that no one can stop once it begins. Connections realign, hidden truths surface. What doesn't belong is stripped away. July 26th brings a turning point that doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives, and nothing moves the same after. What has been ignored starts demanding action. What has stayed in place begins to move. You'll see it reflected all around you, in how people show up, in what stays, and in what quietly falls away. Most will overlook it, distracted by what looks familiar on the surface. But this alignment isn't waiting for everyone, only for those who are ready to see what's underneath. Stay here before this night ends. You'll understand exactly what's shifting on July 26th and what it's here to unlock in you. Things are about to move in a way you can't ignore. This moon brings more than a shift. It brings a moment where life starts lining up fast. You won't need a sign. You'll know the things you've been holding off. They'll feel too heavy to carry. The people who drain you suddenly easy to step away from. This energy doesn't wait. It clears the noise and puts your focus exactly where it needs to be, on what actually matters now. Emotionally, you'll feel more awake. Mentally, more certain. Spiritually, more connected to where you're going and why you're not going back. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally moving like the person you already are. No filter, no delay, no more hiding. July 26th, 2025 marks a moment the cosmos doesn't bring around often. It's like everything above us sinks into sharp focus, and what's been hanging in the background starts stepping forward. The moon on this night carries a charge that's both direct and deeply personal, like the universe nudging you toward your next chapter, even if you didn't plan for it. In numerology, 2+6 = 8, a number known for transformation, growth, and personal power. And when paired with the 7 from July and the 2025 energy, it forms a bridge between reflection and action. The kind of math the universe uses when it's ready to move you from waiting into momentum. It's quiet but strong, and it doesn't miss. Astrologically, the moon is landing in a position that highlights truth. It draws a clear line between what aligns and what doesn't. Think of it like walking through a room where the lighting suddenly changes. What you overlooked before becomes obvious. People show up differently. Your focus sharpens, and what's not working, you'll see it for what it is. The pull of this moon isn't dramatic, it's direct. You may notice you're more decisive. You're done entertaining what drains you. You're more honest about what excites you. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what actually connects. That's the cosmic message here. Alignment over noise, movement over delay. The moon acts as a mirror, but not the soft, blurry kind. This one shows things clearly. It highlights what's been out of sync. Habits, connections, paths you've outgrown. But instead of shaking things up with chaos, it brings that calm, bold clarity that says you already know what's next. And that's where the transformation begins. This kind of energy doesn't demand a total reset. It's about refinement. It helps you see where your time, energy, and heart are actually meant to go. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's a reason people start making bold choices around this kind of lunar alignment. It's not because they suddenly become someone new. It's because the fog lifts the things you've been delaying, second-guessing, or shelving. They're all coming up for review now, not in a heavy way, but in a way that makes you want to act. July 26 holds the kind of influence that makes people text someone they've been thinking about, walk away from something that's no longer working, or start building what they kept putting off. It's forward energy, clean, focused, and honest. And that's the deeper significance. It's not about the moon shining down. It's about what it unlocks in you, the clarity, the timing, the shift in direction. This is alignment that leads to action, but not rushed, more like finally moving at the right pace. So, as this date approaches, Don't be surprised if things start syncing up faster, thoughts become clearer, decisions land easier. It's not magic, it's timing, universal timing, and you're in it now. The day has slowed down now. Whatever was loud is quieter. Whatever was unclear is softening at the edges. You're here and everything in this moment is enough. Let the outside world carry on while you step into this space fully. You don't need to fix anything. Nothing needs to be rushed. Just be where you are, steady and open. All the noise, the timelines, the pressure to figure things out, set them down for now. You're not late. You're not early. You're exactly where you need to be. Feel how the pace changes when you stop chasing it, when your focus drops into right now. In this moment, your thoughts don't have to be loud. Your next step doesn't need to be clear. Clarity doesn't shout. It lands softly, and it's on its way. Let your attention settle into the present. Let your energy return to you bit by bit, piece by piece. All the moments you gave too much. All the times you stayed quiet when your voice wanted to rise. All the days you carried more than your share. Leave them outside this moment. You're allowed to unplug from expectations, from pressure, from constant movement. That's not where alignment lives. Real change doesn't always begin with action. It starts when you reconnect with your center, the place that already knows. Let your shoulders drop, your thoughts slow, and your mind unclench. There's nothing pulling you right now. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're in reset mode, and that's powerful. So many people move without awareness, chase without purpose, but you're choosing presence. No screen, no update, no distraction. Just you right here, whole, aware, tuned in. This moment isn't quiet by accident. It's deliberate. It's the pause before the shift. It's the silence that clears the space before something new begins. You're not being asked to figure everything out right now. You're being invited to reconnect. Breathe normally. Let your thoughts wander if they need to. Don't fight them. Let them come and go like pages turning in a book. You're not here to control the mind. You're just here to listen to what's underneath all the noise. You may start to feel a pull inward, like the deeper parts of you are coming online. The parts that know when something's off even before it shows. The parts that know when something's right, even before the evidence appears. This isn't about waiting for signs. This is about becoming clear enough that you don't need them. Bring your attention to the space behind your thought, that quiet space where ideas, memories, and emotions float, but don't lead. From here, everything looks a little more honest. There's no mask here, no performance. Just the version of you that doesn't need to explain anything. You don't need a reason to reset. You don't need permission to take up space. And you definitely don't need approval to step into alignment with who you are now. Not who you were last month. Not who people expect you to be. The real version of you. That's what this moment is for. Let the pressure drop away. All of the future will unfold. The past is already over. The only thing alive is now. Let yourself be new in it. Repeat each word inside with quiet strength. No force, no pressure, just presence. I'm grounded. I know when it's time to move. You're not here to match old timelines. You're here to match your truth. You're not here to meet expectations. You're here to trust your timing. This moon on July 26th is a reminder not to become someone else, but to return to who you were before the noise got loud. Every shift begins with stillness. You're not being passive. You're tuning in, and that is the most powerful thing you can do. There are no missed paths here, no wrong turns. Every version of you has brought you here. Every delay has created the space for something better to arrive. Nothing's wasted. Nothing's lost. You're right on time. And now allow the next few moments to be silent, not empty, but full of what's real. Let the silence speak louder than the doubt. Let your presence outshine the pressure. When you're steady inside, the outside no longer runs the show. The world starts to move around your alignment, not the other way around. If thoughts come in, let them come. You don't need to stop them. You're not here to have an empty mind. You're here to have a calm one. Let your focus settle like water after a wave. You've carried enough. You've held it together long enough. This moment is yours, not to escape, but to reconnect. The more you settle in, the more everything starts to quiet down. Thoughts don't stop completely, but they lose their urgency. You don't need to solve anything here. You're not here to fix or figure anything out. This moment exists outside of all that noise. It's a pause with purpose. You're allowed to be here without any titles, without proving anything, no roles to play, no deadlines to chase. This is your space. You can set the weight down. You can rest from always being on. Notice how calm builds when nothing's expected of you. That peace you keep searching for out there. It starts right here, not because you earned it, but because you decided to allow it. Let your attention stay light and steady. If your mind drifts, guide it back like you're adjusting the volume, not forcing anything, just resetting the dial. Now bring your focus inward, not to escape, but to check in. Ask yourself, what am I done carrying? What am I ready to let go of without needing closure or explanation? You don't have to name it out loud. The answer already lives in you. Growth doesn't always come from doing more. Sometimes it comes from doing less, from letting go of what's no longer yours, from choosing peace over proving your worth. You've been through seasons of pressure, of constantly showing up, stretching yourself thin, but this chapter is built on something else. This one's about alignment, not exhaustion. The moon aligning on July 26th isn't about adding more to your life. It's about removing the noise. You're being given a clean slate, not through dramatic change, but through clarity. You'll know what to walk away from, and you'll know what deserves a deeper yes. Right now, give yourself that yes. Yes to more space. Yes to more quiet truth. Yes to not needing to rush the process. Let the loud parts of your life take a back seat, so something more meaningful can step forward. You've earned this stillness, not because you've worked hard, but because you've grown. You've outgrown things that no longer feel like home. That's a sign of progress, even when it's uncomfortable. Now breathe, steady, nothing forced. Let the silence between each breath carry your focus deeper. Everything you've been chasing, let it come find you for once. Stop chasing, start receiving. Affirm with strength, not as a wish, but as I make decisions from clarity, not pressure. I rise without rushing. This is how alignment feels. Quiet, clear, strong. You don't need loud confirmations. You just need space to hear what's already true inside you. Let this be the point where the pressure starts fading. Let this be where momentum begins. Not from stress, but from alignment. The most powerful moves often start in silence. When the world stops spinning and you finally hear your own rhythm, whatever's next will come. You don't need to chase it. Stay steady. The next version of you is already in motion. You're not waiting on the world. You're waiting on yourself to catch up to where your energy already is. Keep this pace. Let it anchor into your day. When challenges come up later, return to this calm like it's your starting point, not your escape. Let this version of you lead. Calm, focused, unbothered by the noise. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need presence. And now you've found it. Keep choosing it again and again without guilt, without hesitation. Now slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Not in a rush, not in a sharp shift, but gradually, like the volume rising on something familiar. You're not leaving the calm behind. You're bringing it with you. As you move forward, remember this moment. Let it guide how you move, how you speak, how you choose. You don't need the old pace anymore. A new one has already begun. A moment arrives that doesn't need loud signs or dramatic sparks. It lands softly but completely, like everything you used to overlook is suddenly under a spotlight. Not because something outside has changed, but because you are standing in a place that no longer lets you ignore what's been waiting for your attention. You're no longer orbiting around what others want to hear, say, or believe. You're not shrinking to fit into a version of life that never quite matched the rhythm inside you. And in this instant, there's no need for a script or story. The raw truth of who you've become is standing tall in the open, and it's not asking for permission. No one warned you that clarity would feel like shedding a layer that was never really yours. It's not always fireworks. It's subtle but solid, like stepping out of a fog and realizing you've been walking with your eyes half open. You've seen yourself through so many borrowed lenses, titles, timelines, traditions. But this clarity, it strips that away. What's left is real. It's the you that doesn't shift depending on who's watching. The version that exists without trying to prove, impress, or perform. And then comes the spark most don't talk about, not the one from outside validation, but the one that lights up when you no longer need it. The moment you stop trying to catch up with everyone else's expectations, you notice you're finally in sync with yourself. On 26 July, this quiet power pulses louder than ever, not in dramatic events or chaos, but in those deep internal switches that flip without warning. Suddenly, things that used to distract you no longer hold the same weight. You aren't chasing answers outside anymore. You're ready to trust the ones that are already wired into you. It's wild how fast the noise fades once you realize your direction doesn't need confirmation. You're not here to echo what's already been done. You're here to mark new territory. And that territory starts with no longer shrinking around truth. People might not notice the shift right away. That's okay. They'll still expect you to react the same. Repeat old patterns. Play old roles. But those roles don't fit now. That skin has outgrown its shape, and no apology is required for evolving past it. The most powerful changes don't need attention. They just land in the way your voice steadies, in the way you walk away from what once kept you small, in the way you no longer grip things that never supported your expansion. It's not drama, it's decision. And this time, you're not asking anyone to understand it. You're not looking for a sign that it's okay to outgrow the familiar. The permission is already yours, and it's been yours all along. You're not seeking a way back to comfort. You're walking forward into depth. Even silence hits different now. It's not emptiness. It's fullness, without noise. It holds everything you've reclaimed. And in that silence, you no longer need to explain your shift. The clarity you hold is loud enough. Nothing external can measure the size of this realization. Because it's not about what's changing around you, it's about what's becoming unshakable within you. The part of you that no longer waits to be validated before choosing. You may still move through the same streets, have the same name, meet the same people, but the way you exist has changed. You're not trying to be understood. You're choosing to be real, and that is a completely different frequency. Some won't get. They might even try to pull you back into the version of you that made them comfortable. But you're not here to be comfortable. You're here to be clear. And clarity doesn't negotiate. Every time you've tried to shrink your voice, your vision, your power, those moments built this one. Because you needed contrast to recognize the moment you were no longer available for it. Now you don't need to explain your decisions through long paragraphs. The proof is in how grounded you are without needing constant reassurance. It's in the way you no longer chase or react or flinch when things don't follow a script. You're no longer afraid of being misunderstood. That's not your concern. Your only job now is to live aligned with what is unmistakably yours. No matter how unfamiliar it seems to others, it might not feel easy, but it feels right. That's the difference. And when something feels right at that core level, it doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be followed. You're not here to blend into old frames. You're here to be undeniable in your clarity, to walk differently, speak differently, build differently, and most of all, to no longer betray your own knowing just to be accepted by those who were never built for your truth. That's when the mind begins to connect pieces it didn't know were even there. Things you once brushed off now carry meaning. A name, a place, a line someone once said to you out of nowhere. It starts looping back like a signal you're finally tuned into. You begin to wonder, how long has this been right in front of me? Nothing loud, nothing flashy, but it lands. It changes you in quiet ways, the kind that don't even need announcing. It's not about chasing some perfect version of yourself anymore. That's the part that slips away now. The pressure to always know what's next dissolves because you start paying attention to where you are instead. And strangely, it feels like enough. By the time the world around you catches up to the new you, something internal has already clicked. You're no longer reacting. You're observing. You're shaping things even when you don't realize it. The calm doesn't come from avoiding the storm. It comes from knowing it won't define your story. What once kept looping in your head begins to untangle. The timeline isn't stuck anymore. It begins to move because you've stopped trying to rewind it. You stop overthinking why it happened or how it could have been different. That mental rerun finally fades. And when you hear someone speak about what they're going through, you recognize it, not as your own story, but as something you've already grown past. That's the moment you realize you've changed more than you even planned to. You didn't have to force it, you just had to be awake for it. The date doesn't always mark the moment everything shifts. But this time, 26th July might not because of what's happening around you, but because of what's unlocking within you. It's one of those quiet dates that leaves a mark for the right reason. Some things will never be explained, but that doesn't mean they weren't real. And in those quiet hours where everything slows down, what you once considered random starts to feel like part of a bigger timeline you didn't write, but somehow remember. There's a confidence building that doesn't need to be shouted. The world might still try to rush you, distract you, compare you, but it can't reach what's grounding you now. And that's the part no one can take away. The story you thought was paused is already turning a new page. You're not chasing closure anymore. You're letting it happen naturally, without digging through every detail. That energy you used to give away so easily, it's staying with you this time. You're choosing where it flows, and it's not being wasted. Something is clicking in your body language too. The way you walk into a space, the way you respond. You're not proving anything. You're just present, and it's powerful. It's quiet, but strong. You're no longer haunted by the what if. It doesn't matter how it could have gone. What matters is what it's turning into. And you finally see the point of it all. Some people may still misunderstand you. They'll wonder how you got here without the chaos, the push, the drama. But they don't realize you chose peace. And that was the most powerful move of all. You're not apologizing for who you're becoming. You're not trying to shrink to make anyone more comfortable. And you're not explaining yourself to be understood. What matters now is that you understand where you're going and why it matters. That inner silence, that's not emptiness, that's clarity, that's presence, that's power without noise. Every time you stayed quiet when it would have been easier to react, every time you chose calm over the urge to prove something, it built this moment, and now it's holding you steady. It's wild how the world outside can still be in a hurry, still spinning in loops, and yet you're not in that cycle anymore. You're walking through it differently. You've slowed down your own time. Even in the middle of uncertainty, you're not lost, you're awake. Some people are still chasing moments, but you've started noticing the meaning in the moments that just are. The in-between ones. The ones where nothing big happens, yet everything shifts. That's the real turning point. Not the loud breakthrough, but the stillness that actually moved you more than anything else could. And while others are out there waiting for some sign, some symbol to show them it's their time, you already know it is. You don't need the sign anymore. A moment like this holds more than just quiet reflection. It carries a kind of knowing that doesn't need loud explanation. As things unfold around us, there's often a pull to return to something simple, something honest. That's what this space is for, not to give answers, but to create room for clarity. Everyone tuning in brings their own rhythm, their own questions, and in that mix, something powerful happens. The comments are always full of real voices, some sharing their views, some asking new questions, some simply showing up. That presence alone is enough to keep this space vibrant. Somewhere in the middle of July 26th, a deeper current started to move beneath all the regular noise. Not loud, not flashy, but consistent. It's the kind of current that makes people pause mid-step or rethink a sentence halfway through speaking. Things that seemed small before start carrying more meaning. That's not a coincidence. It's alignment without needing a headline. And when people start recognizing that in their own way, whether it's through a shift in pace or a change in thought, that's when community gets stronger. Showing support isn't just about pressing a button, it's about shaping the space. A single comment can open a new path in someone else's day. A shared video can reach someone at just the right time. That's not just feedback, It's fuel. It lets the message reach farther, wider. So those who haven't said much yet, this is the moment. Type a few words. Share what's been on your mind, or simply let us know you're here. Every interaction makes this space richer. The conversation doesn't end when the video fades out. That's where the real part begins. People come back to check replies, to follow up, to support someone else who opened up. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about showing up in a space that doesn't require you to. That's how connection works here. And that's what keeps this whole thing growing, piece by piece, day by day. So take a moment, not because you're told to, but because it feels right. Share this message with someone who might need it. Drop a comment that others can build on. Hit like to keep the momentum going. This isn't just another video, it's a place to return to for grounding, for growth, for reminding ourselves that we're not out here figuring things out alone. Some connections don't need constant explanation. They unfold naturally when timing aligns. What's meant to reach you has a way of doing so without needing to push. That's what makes this space unique. It flows without pressure, without needing to rush. As the days ahead continue to shift, return here when you need perspective. The message will meet you right where you are. No noise, no rules, just presence.